The morning sun cast long shadows across the Kepler Station training grounds as Cadet Liza Chen sat cross-legged on a fallen log, steam rising from her ceramic mug. The bitter aroma of earth-grown coffee beans filled her nostrils, a luxury she'd managed to smuggle aboard the Interstellar Academy. Around her, the simulated forest buzzed with alien wildlife, holographic creatures designed to test Cadet's survival instincts. Beside her, James stretched his massive frame, yawning to reveal rows of crystalline teeth that could shred titanium. To most species in the Galactic Union, he appeared to be humanity's most fearsome predator. 8 feet of rippling muscle, obsidian scales, and eyes that glowed like molten amber. The Zephyrian instructors had classified him as a Class 7 apex predator when Liza first arrived at the academy. They couldn't have been more wrong. "Easy morning, isn't it, boy?" Liza murmured, scratching behind James's ear fin. The massive creature, whom she'd rescued as a hatchling from Terran black market traders, rumbled contentedly and nuzzled against her shoulder. The peaceful moment shattered as the forest around them erupted in chaos. 3 figures materialized from active camouflage, their forms rippling back into visibility. Skarn hunters, notorious throughout the Outer Rim for their ruthlessness and their particular hatred of humans. Their exoskeletons gleamed like oil-slick metal, and plasma rifles hummed with deadly energy in their 4-armed grips. "Human whelp," the lead hunter hissed through his translator, mandibles clicking with anticipation. "Your species expansion ends today. The Skarn Dominion has placed a considerable bounty on Terran cadets." Liza didn't even look up from her coffee. She took another slow sip, savoring the rich flavor while James's rumbling shifted to a lower, more dangerous frequency. "You know," she said conversationally, "this is supposed to be a training exercise. Attacking cadets with live weapons is probably against Academy regulations." The second hunter laughed, a sound like grinding metal. "No Academy authority reaches into the void sector, little human. Your instructors cannot protect you here." Liza nodded thoughtfully, swirling the dark liquid in her cup. "James, what do you think? Should we be worried?" The great beast's head tilted, studying the intruders with ancient intelligence. His throat sac began to pulse with a soft, rhythmic light, a sign that made even the Skarn hunters shift uneasily. "Your pet cannot save you from 3 trained Skarn warriors," the third hunter snarled, raising his weapon. Liza finally looked up, her brown eyes calm as still water. "Pet?" She smiled, and for the first time the hunters felt a chill run down their chitinous spines. "Oh, you really don't understand humans at all, do you?" The lead hunter's finger tightened on his trigger. "Enough talk." James moved. The creature that the Academy had mistakenly classified as humanity's weapon was revealed for what he truly was. Earth's apex predator in his own right, evolved on a world that had forged the most dangerous species in the galaxy. His scales shifted from obsidian to active camouflage, bending light around his form as he became a living shadow. The first hunter's plasma bolt passed harmlessly through empty air. James materialized behind him, jaws closing around the alien's torso with a wet crunch. Chitinous armor that could deflect starship-grade weapons crumpled like paper. The second hunter spun, firing wildly, but James was already gone, flowing like liquid death between the trees. A taloned hand emerged from nowhere, severing the alien's weapon arm with surgical precision. The hunter's scream cut short as crystalline teeth found his throat. The third hunter, panic overriding training, activated his emergency beacon while backpedaling frantically. "Command! Command! The human has a Class X predator. Requesting immediate extraction." James stalked toward him, no longer bothering with camouflage. His throat sac pulsed brighter, and a subsonic growl made the very air tremble. The hunter raised his remaining weapon with trembling hands. "James," Liza called softly, not moving from her log. "Come here, boy." The massive predator stopped mid-stride, his glowing eyes flicking to his human. The bloodlust faded from his expression, replaced by something that made the surviving hunter's legs give out entirely. Love. Pure, unconditional love for the small, human who had raised him from a hatchling. James padded back to Liza's side, nuzzling her free hand while alien blood dripped from his muzzle. She scratched his favorite spot behind his ear fin, and the terrible predator reduced himself to a contented rumble. "You see?" Liza explained to the gibbering hunter. "The other species always get it wrong about humans. They think our strength comes from being violent or ruthless or having the biggest weapons." She took another sip of coffee, completely ignoring the carnage around them. "But that's not what makes us dangerous. What makes us dangerous is that we can take the most lethal creature in the galaxy, something that should eat us without a second thought, and convince it that we're family. We turn apex predators into loyal companions with nothing more than kindness, patience, and genuine affection." James settled beside her, his massive head resting on her knee while she continued petting him. "Every human ship in the fleet has a companion like James. Every human colony has dozens. We don't conquer worlds, we make friends with everything on them. That's why your Dominion will never defeat us and why you should have stayed in your own territory." The hunter's beacon crackled with an incoming transmission. "Extraction team inbound. Hold position." Liza stood, finishing the last of her coffee. "James, I think it's time we headed back to the academy. The instructors are probably wondering where we are." As they walked away, leaving the traumatized hunter alone with his fallen comrades, Liza could hear extraction ships approaching, in the distance. She smiled to herself, already composing the incident report in her head. Just another quiet morning in the life of humanity's most dangerous cadet, not because of what she could destroy, but because of what she could befriend. Behind them, James looked back once at the scene, his throat sac pulsing a soft goodbye to his fallen prey. Then he turned his attention back to the most important thing in his universe, staying close to his human. After all, that's what family did.